All right, what's going on? Welcome back to the Inside with Irv show. In today's episode, this is going to be a good one because depending on what side of the board you're looking at this, you are going to see getting stuck as a negative or getting stuck as possibly something that's keeping you back from your goals, keeping you back from your dreams, and keeping you back from maybe getting stronger with your relationships. Or maybe you'll see getting stuck as a way of you maybe missing out on your opportunity of getting more money, of your opportunity of moving up the corporate ladder, or of your opportunity to obviously grow and scale your business. But there's the other side of that. And the other side of that is that getting stuck is actually a good thing. And you want to speed up the process that you are getting stuck at. The rate that you jump into you getting stuck, your stuckness. That's not a word, but it's our podcast. So we can say whatever we want here on the Inside with Irv show. But when you are jumping into trying to get stuck as fast as possible, you're going to understand that there's going to be some things that you're going to figure out, and you are going to have to figure them out quickly. And so in this episode, that's exactly what we are going to be breaking down. As always, if you haven't done so already, make sure to subscribe to the podcast so that you can stay up to date every time we are dropping new episodes, either on here, whether you're listening on Spotify or on Apple, or if you are checking us out over on the Insight with Irv podcast YouTube channel. We're approaching 1,000 subscribers, so hopefully we'll have 1,000 subscribers over there by summertime, which is coming up. Okay, let's go ahead and jump right into this. First thing that we need to know is that there's really a couple of reasons why people get stuck. Look, you aren't special in terms of you're not an exception. I'm not an exception. Your best friend is an exception. That person that you see on television or on social media, they're not an exception. The athlete that you idolize, the actor, the actress, the influencer, whoever you're looking at one point or another, these people get stuck, including myself, right? Again, none of us are special or exempt from something like this to happen. There's a couple of reasons why we get stuck, and I'll go ahead and name them right here. And then we'll go ahead and break down a few different ways of how to get unstuck and what we could actually do about it. First things first, when someone gets stuck, or the reason someone is going to get stuck, or the reason that you're probably stuck right now could be one of the following reasons. So as I'm naming these in no particular order, just start to kind of self-diagnose yourself and wonder, okay, what exactly brought me here to this moment, or what exactly brought me here to this place? First things first, the reason you're stuck is because maybe you're trying something new. In my opinion, that's the best reason to get stuck. You're flat out, you're trying something new. You may be asked out someone on a date. Maybe that's out of your element. Maybe you're used to having someone ask you out. Maybe you went out and you started a new business, right? And you opened up an LLC. Maybe you got incorporated. Maybe you went out and you got your first personal loan or your first business loan to try to pick up your business into that next space or into the next level, or to go after new territory. Now you're stuck. You have no idea where you're going to go from here. Or maybe you're stuck because the thing that you're used to doing is no longer working. So now you're trying to figure out, okay, wait a minute, this was just working 3 months ago. Why isn't it working now? It's literally like someone just cut off the power line, or like it was just running water and now it's barely even dripping into the bucket. The strategy that you had for whatever reason is just lights out, no longer works. Maybe that's the reason why you're stuck. Or maybe you're stuck because you haven't even attempted to do the thing that you set out you were going to do. Analysis by paralysis, right? Is what so many people call it. I like to call it, you just flat out haven't gone out and done what you say you were going to do. I mean, let's just call it what it is. You're thinking about the thoughts that you think that are going to get you there. So you think that this is going to happen, and then by this happen, okay, well, let me think of a way. No. Look, let's cut that right there. The fastest way to get unstuck and the fastest way to move through that is by first acknowledging that you're stuck. That's the first thing you can do. But before we get there, I want to finish this thought right here. A lot of people that I've been talking to as of late, whether in my DMs or in person, the reason they're stuck isn't because they're trying something new. And the reason they're stuck isn't because what they were working on is no longer working for them. I've found, and this is recent, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to make this episode right here, it's fresh in my mind. The main reason, and by the way, there's a ton of reasons why people get stuck, but these are really the main three that I think, if you look at the pillars, what you'll fall under, right? The main reason why I've noticed people are getting stuck is because flat out, they're not even trying. You're stuck right now because you're not even trying. The excuses that you have of why you haven't started: you don't have enough resources, no one supports you, you don't know how you're going to get started, you don't know what you're going to say, you don't know how you're going to do it, you don't know where you're going to start out of, you don't have an office, no one likes you, you're not a good speaker, you're not business savvy, you're always used to getting backstabbed. These are all excuses of insecurity. And the reason why we tend to hide behind these is because all the excuses that I've just listed are ones that I've thought of myself, about myself at one point or another. And not only that, anyone right now that you're looking at that's at a high level, whether they're on social media or just someone around you that you look at and you say, man, that person has it figured out. Believe me, at one point or another, they've struggled with those same thoughts. So at this point, there's really no excuses as to why you can't go out and do what you set out to do. And I'll go ahead and backtrack that statement even go a little bit deeper. The reason why those excuses even come up to begin with is because those excuses tend to carry the most empathy from someone or sympathy from someone. And people tend to feel more sorry for us when we use those excuses, right? Rather than just saying, honestly, I just don't feel like doing it just because I don't want to look like an idiot. Or I don't want to do it just because I'm scared to lose money. I think that even that right there, you can still kind of get away with a little bit of sympathy from someone. But even that right there, in my opinion, is seen as just a direct, this is why I don't want to do it, rather than kind of hiding behind 2 or 3 layers of excuses. And look, there's nothing wrong with having self-doubt. There's nothing wrong with analyzing a situation before you jump in. There's nothing wrong with obviously trying to think 2 or 3 steps ahead before you make a decision. Again, this is a game of chess at any time, depending on what you're playing, right? Whether it's a business, whether it's relationship, whether it's networking, wherever this podcast episode necessarily hits for you. It doesn't necessarily have to be business, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be money. It could be in any area of your life. Notice the patterns of the things that you thought or the things that you say you were going to go out and do 5 months ago. Pay attention that you haven't checked those items off of your checklist just yet. Notice that the 15 some books that you say you were going to read, you've barely cracked open the first book and started reading the first page. Notice that the people that you say you were going to go out and start a business with, notice how all of you guys still have day jobs and no one's actually taking the proper steps to get that business off the ground. You see, these are all things that we have to analyze, and these are all things that we have to look at when we are trying to get unstuck, which brings us to our first point. When you are looking to get unstuck, and remember, I want you to get stuck as fast as possible. This is how you are going to get unstuck a lot quicker. So this isn't anything about don't get stuck. Oh, no. You're gonna get stuck. You need to get stuck a lot faster though. The faster you get stuck, the quicker you get out, and the quicker you can cover up that pothole and continue moving on down the road is the way that I like to think about it. So you first have to acknowledge where you're at. It's really the first thing. Okay, I'm stuck. That's it. I'm stuck. I haven't been able to lose 15 pounds. I'm stuck. I haven't been able to have a 6-figure year in my business, and I've been doing this for about 7 years. I'm stuck. My network right now of maybe my hires or maybe the people around me, my support system, no one seems to take the organization or the ideas that we want to use for this business seriously. I'm stuck. Or what about your relationship with your spouse, where you think that you may end up calling it quits, or this might be it right here. You guys just can't see eye to eye with your decisions. You guys even start arguing about who's going to throw out the trash the next day. You guys start arguing about who's going to wash the dishes. You guys start arguing about, okay, I pumped the gas in the car today. Why is it on E? Like, everything bothers you about this person. I'm stuck. And in this case, we're stuck. So the second thing that you have to do once you realize that you're stuck is that you have to analyze what got you there, who's around you, and what actions took you to that place. So I'm going to say that again. What got you there? Who's with you, or who helped you get there, really? And what actions were taken to help you, or to kind of push you into getting stuck? The reason this is important right here, and the reason why you don't want to kind of step over this part right here too quickly, is because this is really the section where you are going to do the most thinking. Now, remember what we said earlier about you don't want to spend too much time thinking in terms of thinking before you actually do something, right? Because obviously that's analysis by paralysis, meaning you don't end up doing anything. But when you're actually stuck, you want to be very careful that you're not repeating the same things that are getting you to that place. This is why you want to analyze, okay, who's around me right now and what are they doing? Are they doing anything differently from what I'm doing? This is why watching your social groups is so important, and I'm such a believer in even watching my own energy around people that I kind of associate myself with, because people can be draining. And you want to have your own, what we can call assertiveness, and you want to have your own ability to obviously say, look, I put myself in here. So you want to have your own accountability. But there are some instances where you're hanging around people that you shouldn't necessarily be hanging around. And look, this is at any level. I don't care if it's a 15-year-old listening to this podcast right now, if it's a 25-year-old, if it's a 35-year-old, it's a 45-year-old. We sometimes hang around people that absolutely just drain us. They drain our energy. They drain our resources. They drain our thinking capacity. They drain even our ability to think at a higher level, because every time something comes out of our mouth that's greater than the place that we're at right now, they always want to bring us back down to reality, as if we don't know that we're already here, right? But look, I'm just thinking and I'm just putting my thoughts out there. So we have to really watch these people and obviously see, okay, who are these people, and start looking around, start analyzing. Okay, is it Billy? Is it Johnny? Is it Sue? Okay, this person right here, this person just came into my life 6 months ago. But wait a minute, this person's been in my life 6 years ago, or for about 6 years. One truth that I've also discovered is that just because someone grew up with you, and this is a myth that holds a lot of people back, just because someone grew up with you doesn't necessarily mean that they're actually growing with you. I can't stress that enough, of how many times someone asks me about, hey, Irv, I grew up with this person, we went to school together, and I'm really looking to take this business to the next level, or I'm really trying to get into the entrepreneur game, or I really want to, increase how much money I'm making, but it seems like everyone around me is, stuck partying, or they're stuck spending money, or they're living this flashy life, and I just can't feel like I can keep up with them, or these people, they kind of make fun of me because I've taken a different route. I'm deciding to do X, Y, Z, maybe open up my business, maybe go into school while they're doing this other thing, and they're out there and it looks like they're having fun. And so I want to still hang out with them, and I still want to be a part of that group. But at the same time, I'm trying to build over on this side. I have one simple answer for something like that. And that's this: someone that is going to hold you back from doing what you've been called to do, or from holding you back from something that you are absolutely obsessed about, should not even be in the equation. Now, you can take that for what it is, because I've been in seasons in my life where I've dropped a lot of people. Really not dropped a lot of people. People just naturally fell off, by the way. People just naturally fell off when you become so committed to your assignment, and when you become obsessed with what you're working on. These people just naturally fall off. Just naturally fall off. Now, this isn't to say that later on you can rekindle that, and later on you can obviously bring that together, because you can. But understand that as some of these people fall off, new people come into your support system and into your surrounding. And this is right here ultimately what helps you come out of getting stuck. Because people come in with new ideas, new perspectives, new ways of looking at things. People that maybe have 5, 10, 12, 15 years of experience ahead of you. And look, notice that I didn't say that are older than you. I'm talking about actual experience. That they come into your life and they say, look, dude, this is where I've been. This is what I did to get out of that situation. So this also it ties back into our second point, which is watching who's around you and watching what actions you took to get you there to a place of getting stuck. Now, the third and final thing that you need to do is obviously add that change, whether that's a physical change, whether that is a mental change, or whether that is what we can call a social change around us. Now, let's deal with what exactly do you mean, Irv, when you say a physical change? If you like the way that you look, you're going to have to change how much consumption you have with food and then how much exercise you do. So in layman terms, eat less, move more. That's it. We want the sexy formula, but at the end of the day, that's what it is, right? And obviously keeping that over a consistent period of time. But what about our mental? You know, sometimes it isn't necessarily our actions. Sometimes we can be doing everything right. Look, especially if you are a competitive person, or if you're someone that's always thinking about the next goal, the next merit, the next accolade, it can be very difficult and disheartening when you're doing everything right and literally everything is getting executed. You're hitting every single goal. Everyone around you is strong and healthy. You're strong and healthy. Your social groups are on point. But there is a mental weakness within the infrastructure of what you've built that's keeping you stuck, and that's called your perspective. When your perspective is off, everything feels like it's off. Notice that I said everything feels like it's off. Not that actually everything is indeed off, right? This is what I mean by that. And again, I'm speaking from experience here. 50 people can come up to you right now and tell you you're doing an amazing job. You could be on the verge of making your first $1 million. You could be at the point where you're already making $1 million a month if you're listening to this right now. You could be at a place where your organization is running at a high level. Your kids are getting straight A's in schools. Your marriage is healthy. You're healthy. Your relationship with God is on point. But if you don't believe that about yourself, or if you're always thinking about the next best thing, or you know what, I'm, let's say, reading 10 pages a day, but I should be reading 20. Or let's say if you are having 4 vacations a year, but I want to have 7. Or if I'm at $1 million a month, but I want to be at 10 million a month. There's nothing wrong with having goals. I just want to put that out there. If you've been around me, you will know that I'm a highly ambitious person. Again, I speak a lot from experience in my podcast of things that I've self-discovered about myself, that I put it out there. So sometimes on this podcast, I'm just letting you know what I've gone through in hopes that it helps somebody else. But when you are always in a place of chase, this is ultimately going to put you into a trap of getting stuck. And so that's why I wanted to bring up these points, because it's not always about doing more. Sometimes it's taking a step back and just shifting your thinking of, I'm doing enough. I've actually done enough today. Holy crap, I've done enough this month. Wait, what? I was doing that and I'm here now? Wait a minute, let me take a step back. Let me enjoy this moment. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I think there's times where we just don't enjoy the moment. Enjoying the moment brings so much joy that it's almost like it recharges your battery, right? In The Last Dance, and I'm closing with this right here. In The Last Dance, Michael Jordan was asked, Michael, I think it was the 5th or the 6th title. I think it was the 5th going to the 6th. Michael, you just won your 5th championship title, and he's playing the piano. Never forget this scene right here. He's playing the piano. What are you going to do next? Are you going to go after your 6th title? We're talking about Michael Jordan here. This is why it's important to enjoy the moment regardless of how competitive you are. He said, I'm not thinking about title number 6. I'm enjoying title number 5 right now. I'm enjoying what I have right now, not what it can be. So I'll answer that when we get there. Let me have my moment. That right there is so empowering because this is a championship level thinking that we're talking about. And so we're talking about someone that's always 5, 10, 15 steps ahead of the competition, but they remember where they are right now, and that allows them to be present and in the moment, which ultimately allows them to, while they're getting stuck, pushes them into getting unstuck. And so there you have it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode today of the Insight with Irv Show. As always, you want to be patient with yourself because you are discovering yourself at the same way that the world is learning more about you at the same time. And so if you haven't done so already, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below and join the official community. Don't forget that anytime we're not posting on here, we're posting over on my main channel, the Irv official channel over on YouTube. So make sure to check us out over there. But as always, I appreciate all the love and all the support that you guys share with me in your messages. And if you are listening to us over on Apple and over on Spotify, then make sure to leave us a 5-star review if you are finding value in the content that we're dropping. Once again, I appreciate you rocking with me today. Until next time, everyone, I will see you in the next episode.